to try and stand on my tiptoes and look down there instead. All right.
Oh, gotta love a stick shift burnout.
Yeah, it is a true balancing exercise.
That's a fact. So Jeremy Howell, Martinsville, Indiana, going to be coming up on left-hand side of the track. Got the Fat House Fabrication Mustang.
Yep. Right-hand side is Joel Steele out of Bowling Green, Florida. I bet that's probably supposed to read Kentucky, or there's another city that you and I don't know about in Florida. But it says it's
getting educated this weekend.
I guess, yeah. The whole you're going to learn you something, that kind of deal. Yeah. So Joe Steele, he's in the red Mustang on the right-hand side. That's the McFarland Racing side of the racetrack. Jeremy Howell out of Indiana representing on the left-hand side. Here we go. Right-hand side gets the launch and a couple of baby wheelies as he bangs through the gears. And, man, we got a quick pass coming up. 726, 196 miles an hour, just laying it down with authority. Holy cow. That is the shot. I mean, just set the pace right from the get-go. Jeremy Howell, 9 flat at only 137. He went 126 to the 8th mile, and he just might have said, nah, I'll just use the old racer excuse. Pull over and broke. So, yeah, Joel Steele going to number 1. Obviously, there's only been one pair, but, yeah, here comes I'm
going to guess he's going to stay at number 1.
Israel Salva out of Hollywood, Florida. That's a 1986 Toyota model. So we got old school representing right side, a more modern 95 Tala on the left side. Here we go. Yeah, that's the only problem with those cars is they're all-wheel drive. So if they decide they want to get loose, then it doesn't turn out well. And speaking of loose, Israel got a little loose and got close to the center line, but wisely backed out of it. 966 at just 121. He went 126 miles an hour to the 8th mile. So that had the makings of a low 9-second pass. His 60-foot was nothing to write home about, but Schultz, unfortunately, just pulls the pin. He goes, yeah, I got a couple more sessions. We'll try again here in a little bit. All right, so domestic versus import. Going to come up right here in our third pair. Chris Moore, 2000 model Camaro. More horsepower back in that ride on the right-hand side. Looks like he's got power windows on board. I love it.
Got John Arroyo over on the Tripp Law Firm side of the track in a 2015 Subaru. That is an all-wheel drive. Subaru got the Mickey Thompson slicks on all 4 corners.
Yeah, got to love what looks like a Texas flag, either painted or wrapped on the roof. And I mean, that thing just looks stealthy, and it's got a parachute hanging off the back of it. Here we go. Camaro, big old power wheelie out of first gear, and he pedals out of it nicely, and oh no, there's a whole lot of smoke coming. And he still legs it to an 809 at 136 miles an hour, but with a lot of smoke. And that doesn't look like tire rub smoke. That looks like death smoke. So Chris Moore's incredible run might be all for naught. He was 125 on the 60-foot as he just dangling those front tires. And then the 8th mile looked like that car was going to easily clip into the 7s. But unfortunately, he had some smoke come out of it, and then it stopped again just past the 8th mile when he lifted. And then it started again and got way worse as he got to the top end of the racetrack. John Arrow, on the other hand, I put too many R's in there, 1171 at just 79 miles an hour, so that one was a catch and release kind of run. And unfortunately, the word has come back that Chris Moore decided to not keep oil in the engine completely. So the right-hand side, it's going to need a little bit of help.
Chris Moore letting some of the smoke out. We will see if they need to do any major cleanup or not.
All right, so Wade Rich, well, fortunately or unfortunately, I can't think of a much better guy to be going down the racetrack to clean stuff up, but he's bringing the Zamboni. And that means that it's more than just a little bit of a mist. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be down for a minute, as unfortunately, as James so eloquently put it, Chris Moore should have kept the smoke in the engine. But the horsepower apparently bled out a little. So we're going to be on hold here for just a minute while we get the right lane back in fighting condition. I had a couple of people ask me about the food trucks. I have not had a chance to go over and visit them, but when was the last time you had a bad experience with a food truck?
Hardly never.
Well, is it hardly or is it never? Which one is it?
Yes.
James is just offering me so much to work with up here, ladies and gentlemen. But great to be able to sit alongside fellow racer James Thompson as we work our way through the first qualifying session here in the 9th annual FL2K presented by Brian Crowder and a whole bunch of sponsors. I mean, I think you and I have run out of web space and login information trying to get them all named off because Victor has really brought a whole bunch of people to the party here, and what a party it is. You look around up here from the tower and the fact that you've got just a little over 180 degrees of viewability and you see all the stuff that's out here on the grounds, and it's just incredible. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not gotten yourself something to eat or drink yet, now is a great time to go do it. They have ice-cold beer for sale on the tower side. And every time I say it, Lori turns around and looks at me. That time she did it a second time. So I'm starting to get the hint. I might need to go down there and get one. James might be on his own for a minute just so we keep Laura happy. And the rule of law is if you follow law, everybody will be happy. And now, again, is also a great time to go visit the food trucks I just spoke to about on the other side of the racetrack. That's the west side or the right-hand side. And also over there on the right-hand side, beside the first section of bleachers, yeah, Cletus McFarland is over there with his traveling circus. And I say that in a loving fashion because Cletus has probably put more miles behind the windshield than I would say most professional teams this year as he does Cletus and cars in multiple locations. James, I think you and I were talking earlier that we saw a photo that looks like he might even be moving to a new location next year as far as doing a Cletus and cars. And I think I know what it is, but I'm going to let everybody else kind of speculate on it, so to speak. But we'll give you a hint. It's not on the West Coast.
That's so ironic. You're talking about Cletus.
So apparently, like, deja vu is happening as one of Cletus's tech cards is being entered by Lorianne Johnson up here in the tower. Lorianne Johnson, as we lovingly refer to her by law, wife of racing great and multi-time divisional champion Rod Johnson, who I'm sure is probably somewhere at home wishing he was out here racing, but probably getting into trouble nonetheless, which is why Lori is doing fine here and Rod has the ability to get in trouble home. Actually, Rod's taken up an interesting side business with all the model cars and stuff that he does, right? So, yeah, Rod has traded full-size cars for model cars, and guess what? You could still spend some money on them, but they probably aren't going to break down on you near as often. I mean, I'm just going to take a guess there.
Hot Rod's Hobbies on Instagram. You're welcome, Rod.
Thank you, sir. See now that's what I would call important information, or to use the big words, pertinent information. Yeah, I know. I know that it had more than one syllable. I'm sorry. So my phone continues to get lit up by people that are listening to us on the Flow Racing live stream. And again, thank you to Flow Racing for all that they do to bring motorsports to your home, your office. Oh yeah, don't try and act like you don't watch drag racing when you're at work. So Flow Racing, that's FLORacing.com. Yeah, Lori kind of has the, wait a minute, I watch racing when I'm at work. It's kind of like a perk. Yeah, exactly. She doesn't need the live stream. She just needs to open her eyes. So once again, we are lucky to be able to sit here and tell you, ladies and gentlemen, about all the great stuff that's happening here at Bradenton Motorsports Park here this weekend. And again, a world-class facility, and you could see it. They have packed them in here. And I know tomorrow is probably going to be even more so. So, again, right now is a great chance to go over and get yourself some official FL2K gear before it sells out. And that's not a threat. That's a promise. It's going to happen. Victor told us that it always does. And I have no reason to doubt him. After all, he's not a politician. So James, searching through his race and car-filled social media to see what's going on behind the scenes. And speaking of behind the scenes, I've seen a whole bunch of people trying to get ready for FL2K this weekend. And we talked about Bill Gregan and his son Tyler. Tyler has jumped into the driver's seat and driven for Troy Perez Jr. at a couple of no-prep events. He's also driven at a couple of no-time events. And obviously doing a great job on the keyboard for his dad. Is, if I remember correctly, I think Bill Gregan carded 3 straight runner-ups to start the season. Or it was a win and 2 runner-ups. I can't remember, but I know he made it to 3 final rounds in a row, including NMRA, Ducks Race, and there was something else that I'm blanking on at the moment. And then his motor came out for freshening, and he had to sit and wait multiple months for parts. And it's all back together, and as he said, it made oil pressure. And he was out here testing this week, so I have to wonder if maybe he's, trying to go to work and actually make a little bit of that money back that he spent trying to get the car ready to go, and that's why we haven't seen him in qualifying yet. And then he'll make an appearance later. But Tyler is wheeling one of Troy Perez Jr.'s rides in the no-time shootout class today. And then Troy Perez Jr. is wheeling a different car for Victor, also in no time. I think I got that right. So we'll see. But I think I got that right. So Wade out there doing his magic on the Zamboni that travels at a whopping 5 miles an hour, as per James' radar gun.
I verified it.
And by verify, yeah, I'll leave that one out there. So once again, a very big shout out to everybody who came out here for what has been a trying Friday based on Mother Nature. I see Wayne Stewart down there from KWS Images. He's down there taking pictures. If you want to go check out some great stuff, he shoots all kinds of different events, and he actually has his son involved in shooting photography, and he's down there talking to Mike Pikra. And yeah, I see Mike sitting on the wall. What's up, buddy? You can nudge Wayne next to you and say hi to him too, because he looks like he's ignoring me. Attention, KC Photography. KC Photography, I need you to the winner's circle, please, for some work to be done. KC Photography, I need you to the winner's circle for pictures. And yeah, looks like my voice actually carried. She actually heard me, and she's on her way. So once again, fellow enthusiasts, Wayne Stewart and Mike Pikra. Mike works for Motion Raceworks. Wayne has a Fox Body Mustang. I think there's a few of those out here this weekend. And thankfully I got a chance to see both of them this year. Mike obviously is not in Florida, but Wayne is, and he and I have some mutual friends. Appreciate all that he does. I think I should see him in about 3 weeks from now, a little further north of here. And unfortunately, Mike is going to disappoint me. He's not going to make it. He already told me, no chance. Apparently, he needs to go back to work because he spent so much time out shooting pictures, and none of them have been at Motion Raceworks. Or very few of them. But as long as he keeps his boss happy with third-generation Camaros and Firebirds and he shoots Nova pictures, I guess they're going to continue to let him work at Motion Raceworks. All right, so I like the fact that the Zamboni has gone away and we have traded it for a dragger. So that means we're making progress. So once again, we're going to keep chugging along here, ladies and gentlemen, and I swear we want to get stick shift out there on the racetrack. We've had a few of them, but we definitely need some more. And by more, I mean like we've got a whole bunch more sitting in the staging lanes right now. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, we have heard some varied reports over the day today, and we've already addressed this a few times, but now that we're quiet, definitely a good time to say so. If you are racing here this weekend, or you are part of a crew and you have not signed the restricted area waiver and gotten yourself an armband to be allowed into the restricted area, now is a great time to go take care of that. I mean, unless you're literally sitting in the staging lanes ready to go. But there are two places that we can do that. You can do that at Tech, which is located at the scales on the west side of the racetrack at the end, or you can visit Racer Registration, which is located on the tower side of the racetrack at the rear of the staging lanes next to the fuel pumps. So once again, we ask that any drivers and all crew members make sure that you have an armband. If you do not, you will not be allowed in a restricted area. So we ask that you please take care of this as soon as possible. So that way, you can get all that you have coming to you.
Once again, we're here, Friday edition FL2K, the Bullet Race Engineering Pit Pass. My man, Kimber Jones, Soccer Mom Racing. I like the old second gen.
It's pretty cool. It's grown on me over the years. I've had it since 1995.
That works. I mean, you stick with the program and then it just evolves over time.
Yeah, you know, this last go around we built it, me and a couple friends, Kevin Smith and Will Stevenson, built it to have some fun, just go racing as a team. So we all take turns driving it. I'm driving it this weekend and just going to have some fun with it.
Yeah, this weekend we're running, I think, is it the No Time?
No time, correct. No time deal.
Fun's
Florida No Time.
Troy's like, yes. So it's one of those deals where you're in the pits just trying to get some interviews and stuff, talk to some guys. And absolutely. Obviously you guys aren't qualifying since No Time, so we'll get some shakedowns and we'll catch you back at it.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Good luck, man.
Thank you.
All right, back to you guys.
Rolling, rock.
3,
Drops.
2.
Yes, it's funny. As soon as we say Mother Nature, it's like poof. So, but unfortunately, yeah, rain never hurt anybody, but I wouldn't want to stand around in soaking wet clothes. So, anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, please try to find some shelter. That's a very good place to find some shelter. And while you're at it, a great time to go get yourself something cold to drink. May I suggest a Budweiser? Or you know what? You could also go and visit all the manufacturers on Manufacturers Midway, because they've got a whole bunch of stuff out there. So what better time than now when you're trying to find some shelter than to go over and talk to your favorite performance manufacturer and find out some great stuff about what they have available for your car or truck.
Or get your FL2K souvenirs.
I want to say I've said that already, but yeah, it bears repeating.
Absolutely.
Yep, FL2K merchandise, located where a lot of you are walking right now over by Cletus McFarland's trailer. Yep, go and visit the Cletus McFarland tent and grab yourself some FL2K merchandise and do it now before we run out. They are limited on supplies. We want to make sure that you get your size and color. And when I say size and color, I really hope that Victor guessed my size and color correctly.